Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new, thanks for watching. We hope that you'll become a part of the DIY PC family. If you're looking for an easy, affordable way to upgrade your home, then you're in the right place. Today, we're going to show you how to install recessed lighting on a budget, so there's no need to break your bank on contractors. So let's get into it.
Take a look at the tools and materials you need to get started. To make things easier, we'll put this list in the description for you. Remember, the prices may vary based on where you live. Not only will recessed lighting modernize your living space, it also makes your home look much brighter, bigger, and elegant. And it can even help increase your home's resale value. But the best part, you can do it yourself and save hundreds, even thousands of dollars. So let's get started. We moved into our in-laws house and planned to update the parlor room as a multi-generational living space for the entire family. Without any overhead lighting, the room felt dim and poorly lit, and there were dark shadows in the corners that made it hard to see when reading. For this standard size room, we decided to install 4 of these 6-inch slim LED color changing recessed lights and a fan with a LED light. Not only did we do the math, we did the work. So let's take a look. We always want to be safe, so the first thing we do is turn off the power. We always go to our circuit breaker, and we always have a non-contact voltage meter just in case the power is not actually off. It'll make a noise and let you know, don't touch that. After that, what you want to do is measure and mark your area. Basically, just plan where you want the lights to go, and use a template, it'll help. When cutting the holes, just make it simple. Use a hole saw, but also keep the drywall saw handy. This will help you trim the edges or make more precise cuts if needed. The drywall saw's blade is somewhat flexible, so it's able to make angled or curved cuts a little easier. After cutting the holes in the ceiling, we were fortunate enough to be able to go up into the attic to install the wiring. You know, when we got up there, we couldn't see the wires near the wall because we just paid for new blown-in ceiling installation. I grabbed my leaf blower so I could make a pathway so I could see where I should step. I didn't want to end up in the parlor room down below. I'm glad I cleared a path because there was only a single board that allowed me to step across. Up here, you'll be looking for the wall where the light switch is located. Now it's time to pull out that 14-2 gauge wire you bought. Besides being mindful of where you're stepping, this is pretty easy to do. Just push the wire down until you feel like there's no more room. With this DIY project, our goal is to change this single light switch into a new double light switch. By this time, my friend Mike, an avid DIYer in his own right, came to help us out. My wife noticed that some of the old wires were frayed and exposed, so you know this has to be fixed. I think we may have saved ourselves a safety hazard before something went wrong. The next thing you want to do is take out your old light switch and create the hole for the new one. These new set of switches are going to be for a fan and for lights. This blue thing that Mike is holding is called a 2-gang wire housing. To make it so that your new wire box is just about perfect, make sure that it's level before you draw a very close outline around it. Here's a tip, draw around the box and not the tabs. If you draw around the tabs, then your hole will be too big, and the wire box will just fall through the wall. You may want to use an oscillating tool with a long metal tip to cut out the pattern. For this part of the project, it's best to stay in or on the lines. As a DIYer, this part of creating the new box hole was pretty fun. After I was done, I could actually see the shape of the new box. Hey guys, got a question for you. Did you know that the light switch box is nailed to the stud inside the wall? Well, I didn't know that. I used a small pry bar to pull the nails off the stud, and you may have to do that too. Check that out, those nails are pretty long. Now that the old wire box has been removed from the stud, you'll have to straighten out all the wires. We used these electrician's pliers to cut some of the wires that were crimped together. They made this job so much easier, you might have to get your hands on one of these. Once all of the wires have been straightened to the best of your ability, it's time to push them through the back of the box. My wife asked if she could help out with this part. She's done quite a few of our wiring DIYs. To be honest with you, I'm glad that she did this part because my hands were a little bit too big for that hole. Once you remove the wires from the wire box, make sure you hold on to it. The last thing you want is for it to fall inside the wall. And don't forget to bend the wires on the outside of the wall. It'll save you a lot of heartache. And there you go, you successfully pulled out the old wire box. Now you can pull the new wire into the room. I'm not quite sure why my wife was raising her hand, but she did ask a good question when she said, Where does that go? That's the part I don't understand.
At the end of this wire, when it goes back in the attic, that's going to go to your first light fixture.
Oh, okay.
So now we went back up into the attic to place the second wire into the wall. This wire will be used to power the fan. If you look closely enough, you'll see the original wire, the wire I put in, and now the wire that Mike is putting in. This is the wire that will power all of the recessed lights. And now I'm writing the letter F on the second wire so that we know it's for the fan. To prepare room for all of the wires, we have to remove the backing from the 2-gang wiring housing. I placed the 2 new wires in one hole, wires that came from the top in another hole, and the powered wires that are at the bottom in the bottom hole. We used the drill to lightly secure the box to the drywall. So now you might ask the question, how do I power the switches and dimmers? This part might seem a little complicated with all these wires hanging out, but it's much easier than you think. Just to let you know, the pieces of wire that Mike's holding come from the wire spool that you already purchased from the store. So now you're going to make color-coded pigtails for both switches. So now you want to twist all of the white wires together with 2 pigtails. And if you make an even cut at the end, they can fit nicely into the wire connector. Now you can connect all the black wires together with 2 pigtails. When you're doing this, don't forget to take note of which black wire is your power wire. Now we can connect all the copper wires with 2 pigtails. Then you want to thoroughly tape the wire connectors to the wires with electrical tape. Now it's time to push all of the wires into the wire box. You may have to use a little force to do this part. Take your new switch and your new dimmer and connect them as you normally would. Now it's time to fit both switches and all of the wiring deep inside of the wire box, so that you can attach the cover and 4-screw switch panel. This dimmer has a green indicator light that allows you to see the panel in the dark when the lights are off. A great thing about these lights is that they're able to dim in both regular light mode and halo mode when you slide the dimmer bar. These lights also shine down towards the floor and horizontally across the ceiling. This makes for great cinematic mood lighting during family movie nights. Here's a simple diagram of all the halo recessed lighting wiring that is mostly complete for this parlor room. And now we're going to install the fan wiring. The first thing you want to do when installing a new fan opening is to measure the joist locations. Now you have a better idea of where to install the ceiling fan junction box. It's always a good idea to drill your pilot hole first before you drill your big hole. You can take an old hanger and stick it up into the ceiling to see how it looks from above. Since this will be in the center of your ceiling, you don't want to make a big mistake. When you go back into your attic, you will need your ceiling fan junction box, drywall saw, pencil to mark your junction box location, and wire cutters. Once you see the hanger location up in the attic, you'll also see how close it is to the joist. Then you'll know exactly where to put the junction box. Now you can use your pencil to make an outline. Some of you may not have access to your attic, and you may be asking the question, can I still do this project without going up into the attic space? The answer is yes, you can. If you don't have access to an attic, you can use fish tape or wire rods to guide cables through tight spaces. Now you want to adjust the metal arm to your desired length. Then make sure it fits inside of the space. Because you took the time to outline the junction box, it's going to make things easier for you for the next step. Now you want to prepare to cut the ceiling with your drywall saw from above. In my opinion, the cross method worked well, and it was easy to maintain the circular shape. With a little patience and finesse, this part of the project will be a breeze. It's always nice to see a friendly face and a nice smile on the other side of your DIY project. Here's a tip. If you're replacing an old ceiling fan in your room, just use the same wiring. It'll make things much easier when you're installing your new fan. If you want to see how to install a fan, check the description to see how we do it in the videos below.
Take the wires and push them through here and then connect them to the appropriate wire within the junction box.
Okay guys, so I'm going to show you a few things that's going to make it easier for you when you do this project. Use a tool to poke out one of the metal holes. It could be whichever hole you like. Then you want to match the wire colors. Green to green, white to white, black to black. Make sure you push each of the wires all the way into the push-in connector. Then give it a tug to make sure that it's secure. What I'm showing you here is a simple way to test out your light before you install it into your ceiling. Mike actually created this wire, but I found out that they sell them at Home Depot. You can use this as a way to ensure that your LED light is working correctly. This is a cost-effective way to make sure that all of your lights are working before you cut holes in your ceiling. Just so you know, all we did was grab the junction box, strip the wires, and attach them the way I just showed you. We did the same process for all 4 lights. There's one more thing I think you should know. Don't forget to buy the metallic knockouts that go inside of each of the junction boxes. They help stop the metal from cutting into the wires. And that can cause a hazard over time, because you know we always want you and your loved ones to be safe. We found that recessed lighting could give an older home a clean, high-end look. Okay, maybe not that high-end, but it'll be better than before. One great thing is that there's no bulky fixtures or hanging lights from the ceiling. As DIYers, we really like that they're energy efficient. Most of these lights use LED bulbs that last 10 to 15 years and they lower your electricity bill. If you're like us and you want to customize your room, these lights can be placed in ways to highlight your decor. You can install them in specific areas around your room to enhance your artwork or other pieces. If you only plan to stay in your home for a short while and then move, these are great for home resale. Here's a few things to think about when it comes to installing recessed lighting yourself or hiring a professional to do it for you. Did you know that the cost of hiring an electrician can be between $200 to $300 per recessed light? And if you want to install a ceiling fan into your old home, it could be between $500 to $1,500. In our opinion, it could be a little expensive to hire an electrician to do this job. But if you choose to do it yourself, the total cost could be between $250 to $600. That's an 80% savings. Just look at this difference. The room now looks bigger, brighter, and more inviting. It's like giving your room a mini makeover without the hefty price tag. So what does the market say about recessed lighting? And how does it affect your resale value versus having mediocre or poor lighting in your home? Hey guys, did you know that homes with modern lighting upgrades sell faster? They sell for 3 to 5% more on average. That can translate to thousands of extra dollars when you're selling your home. This simple home update could be one of the best investments you make.
So now you've got it, an easy, budget-friendly way to upgrade your home with recessed lighting. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button so you don't miss any of our future home improvement tips. Thanks for watching, and remember, you can DIY too, and we'll see you in the next video.